welcome to Blitzcast here on New Majors TV. I'm Adam Hernandez. With me always is Dorf. We've got week 1 in the NFL this week. A couple of things I want to get to. First, before we get to our main topic tonight, well, this week I kind of have two main topics. I do want to touch on the Ezekiel Elliott thing very, very quickly. And then we have the kind of the surprise that happened Thursday night between the Chiefs,
and the Pats.
And the Pats. The Chiefs winning that one. What was the final? 42-27. Which, again, on the road, too. That was in Foxborough.
Trailing at the half as well.
Yeah, in Foxborough. A couple of quick things here coming out of the early and 4 p.m. games tonight. Couple of surprises here. Most of these teams, though, that ended up being a surprise won. For instance, Pittsburgh winning 21-18 over Cleveland. That one was on the road, but then again,
it was 21-3 at one point though, so it wasn't as close as it looked.
Yeah, but again, Cleveland making it close there at the end, nonetheless. Pittsburgh winning that one, like I said, 21-18 on the road in Cleveland. Another
Baltimore blowing the doors off of for who they played.
Who did Baltimore play? Cincinnati.
Andy Dalton threw 4 picks.
Yep, 20-0. Again, Andy Dalton's been one of those guys too that's been kind of on the edge
for
here.
A while.
Yeah, whether or not Cincinnati's going to eventually move on from him sooner rather than later, it still seems to be one of the big question marks.
Jacksonville beat Houston.
Jacksonville beat Houston.
Not beat them. Beat them.
Yes, 29-7. That was Deshaun Watson.
Ended up coming in at the end of the first quarter after the Texans were held to just 50 yards in the first quarter. Quick hook for
Tom Savage.
And Bill O'Brien down there in Houston.
Yep. Another one, we're just watching the highlights for that. Atlanta coming out on top, barely, the NFC champions, 23-17.
Goal line stand at the very end.
Yep, against the Chicago Bears. We just made the comment, too, that Mike Glennon
didn't look half bad.
No, he looked pretty good. It seemed like the biggest problem for Mike Glennon were his receivers.
Not being able to get over.
Yep, dropping balls all over the place. Los Angeles, the Rams blowing out Indianapolis 46-9.
Not a surprise that the Rams won, but 46-9.
Yeah.
Yikes. Scott Tolzien did yanked in that game too.
Yep. Jacoby Brissett
finished.
Yep, finished that one. Again, I thought it was going to be kind of ugly, even if Andrew Luck was playing, but not 46-9. Ugly, yeah. Let's see, a couple of other ones here. Green Bay beating Seattle. Aaron Rodgers not looking all that great.
Suffocating defense in Green Bay.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers not looking all that great, though. But, again, it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if anybody could worry about that too much.
The right side of his offensive line was... Right tackle Jason Spriggs left injured, and Jari Evans looks like he's done. Like he's very done at right guard.
Yep. Do you want to go to the Ezekiel Elliott thing first?
Let's do Ezekiel Elliott first.
Okay, Zeke Elliott turns out is going to be playing. I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing tonight.
He was going to play tonight regardless.
Yes. But a judge in Texas overturns the... What is it? The NFL
doesn't overturn. He grants a temporary restraining order.
He grants a temporary injunction against the NFL's 6-game ban, which an arbitrator actually upheld
somehow.
Yes, last week, because more is coming out about this. Look, I will be totally frank in all of this. I think Ezekiel Elliott
He's not a great guy.
No, I think Ezekiel Elliott is a dirtbag. I think he probably did abuse his girlfriend at some point. However, like all things NFL, it seems like they totally botched this investigation. Now we're coming out and we're hearing that...
apparently she's just been trying to extort him for the better part of 2 years.
And that as far as the NFL investigation goes, they weren't relaying all of the information to their investigators. One of the investigators that was kind of having a counterpoint to all of this, they weren't allowing her to speak to some other investigators. It's just there was just so many things about this. Yes, there was so many things about this investigation that was totally wrong. Now, again, I'm not going and saying that Ezekiel Elliott was totally right in all of this. However, in anything in America, whether you're dealing with a hearing at the NFL level or you're dealing with a court case at the local, state, or federal level, ambiguity should always be at the benefit of those who...
The accused.
The accused, exactly. And in this case, Ezekiel Elliott was the one being accused. And until it's totally proven that he's innocent here, then you've got to take a step back and really, look at the punishment that you're given. This is very much similar to the Tom Brady thing. There was no actual proof.
No actual proof that Tom Brady did anything.
Yes, that he was the one actually going and deflating footballs.
Deflating footballs or people directly having people do it on his behalf.
Yes, that wasn't the case.
And they still tried to suspend him for, 6 games originally.
Exactly. And to me, that continues to be a big problem in the NFL.
Court.
Yep, exactly. So Ezekiel Elliott is playing tonight. I don't know how, the suspension is
He's been playing the entire preseason.
He's been playing the entire preseason. I don't know how this injunction, I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know, what the NFL, because the NFL is going to come and fight back with it. They're going to go and they're going to appeal. They're going to do whatever they can to end up winning this case.
Well, essentially, by the time all the court, now because it's tied up in real court, in civil court, by the time all proceedings are heard, the Elliott legal team can essentially drag this out for the entire rest of the season. Don't count on Zeke Elliott, regardless of the decision here, to be missing any time during the 2017-18 season. He'll be out there likely unless Richie says something else dumb. He'll be out there the entire season.
So picking up Darren McFadden is...
Yeah, if you drafted Darren McFadden in your fantasy league, you probably feel pretty dumb right now.
Well, I don't know if you feel dumb, because I drafted him, and we didn't know there was going to be an injunction granted against the 6-game ban.
And those who drafted Zeke Elliott in the later rounds because people were afraid to touch him. You're the big winner here.
Yeah. Well...
Not that matters.
Yeah, right. Moving along to... speaking of the Patriots... Patriots, like we said, ended up losing 42-27 to the Kansas City Chiefs. What was really quite surprising about this game, Dorf, was what Alex Smith was able to do.
Actually, can throw a deep ball.
He could throw a deep ball. He was carving up that Patriots defense. Yes. He finished with 368 yards, 4 touchdowns, and completed 80% of his passes.
Including 260 or 75-yard receptions by Tyreek Hill.
Averaging almost 10.5 yards, per attempt, which is amazing. Pretty damn good.
Especially for him.
The other surprising part of that offense was Kareem Hunt's rookie running back out of Toledo. I believe they drafted him out of the 3rd round.
Especially after his first touch. Lost the ball. Fumble. Fumble!
He finished with 148 yards, though, on the ground and 1 touchdown.
Absolutely dynamite after that.
Yep, 239 yards from scrimmage.
He was very good.
Which was the most of any rookie running back in week 1 ever. Yep. Patriots allowed 539 total yards and 42 total points, the most allowed in all aspects.
And the crazy part is the Patriots had 22, I believe, more offensive plays than the Chiefs.
Yes.
539 yards on 60 plays exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 9.1 or 9.2 yards per play?
Yeah, well, it's not good.
The NFL average is like 6.5.
Yeah, not good. Not good for your opening week. Nope. I wrote an article about the story. If you could find it on themajors.net. But the whole basis of that article, and I wanted to get your spin on it here, was the Patriot way. The Patriot way, it seems like, they go very, very fickle in many aspects of their roster. And because they have Tom Brady, because they have Bill Belichick, and because they have that coaching staff, they're able to mold. Yes, they're able to mold and shape some of these guys into whoever it is what they need, and are able to roll for the rest of the season and win Super Bowls. My big question:
veterans to come play for them for less than market rate deals.
Yes, my big question to you, Dorf: has the league begun to catch on to this Patriot way in their fickle spending? More, I guess, looking at this even closer, specifically with their defensive line. Defensive line isn't good. Defensive line, they have a lot of guys in there who, quite frankly, are garbage. You have a guy like, who's the first guy up in all of this? Lawrence Guy. He's had 6.5 total sacks
in his career
since 2012. You look down the line here, Alan Branch is on the wrong side of 30. He's 33. Never really been all that great. Alan
Branch is a very nice two-down run-stuffing nose tackle.
He's a good complementary piece. He's not a guy that you want in there being a kind of like a stopgap in the middle of inside your interior of your defensive line. Cassius March, Dietrich Wise. Dietrich Wise had a sack. Both of those guys looked out of place. Both of those guys were being pushed around by the Kansas City offensive line.
Marsh is a backup linebacker, and that's all he ever should be, and yet he's asked to be playing major minutes.
Yeah, the two guys that looked good, you had, Trey Flowers.
And Malcolm Brown.
Trey Flowers.
High draft picks the last couple of seasons.
Trey Flowers is pretty much picking up on where he left off last season. Finished last season very good.
Good find by them.
Yeah. Malcolm Brown, I believe Trey Flowers, what do you have, 2 sacks?
I believe so.
2 sacks Thursday night. Malcolm Brown, second-year player, late first-round draft pick. There's really not a whole lot you can expect out of him these first couple of years, especially when you're surrounding him with inadequate guys on that defensive line. He looked pretty good. I'm not going to worry about Malcolm Brown too much, even if he is a little rough around the edges still. Second-year player, whatever. But a lot of those main pieces in there just aren't good. A lot of those support pieces in there are just not getting the job done. And I don't know if they're going to get the job done, because when you look at their linebackers, Dorf, you've mentioned this.
Slow.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before. I thought Donta Hightower is looking very, very average.
Average. Okay, Donta Hightower is a very nice two-down run stuffer. The one problem is nobody runs on first and second down anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He would be a great linebacker in the league 10 years ago. He'd be great. He'd be perfect for it. Now that you got to ask these guys to cover 60-70% of the time, he's just not cut out for it.
Not only that, Dorf, if you look at some of the other guys, Kyle Van Noy, David Harris. Kyle Van Noy is a Lions cast-off. David Harris is a New York Jets cast-off.
David Harris is also old as fuck.
So what do you make of all this, Dorf? Is this
old and slow?
Is this teams finally catching up the Patriot way? Or is the fickle spending with the defensive line and the way that they're going with their linebackers here? Is this catching up with them? Is this going to be a problem for them throughout the rest of the regular season?
I think it will. A lack of investment, and especially you traded Chandler Jones. You let Jabal Sheard walk. And you didn't do anything to replace either of them.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler Jones is a 12 to 14 sack a year guy. You didn't replace him. Jabal Sheard is an 8 to 10 sack a year guy. You didn't replace him. Rob Ninkovich, who's just the consummate pro, great against the run, probably will get you 5 sacks a year, retired at the very beginning of training camp. Nothing you can do to really replace him at that point. All you've done to replace all that is draft Trey Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good enough, guys. You don't have a threat off the edge at all, and you're hoping that 300-pounders can roll through guys and put pressure up the middle, and that's not happening.
Yep.
Alan Branch couldn't chase down a quarterback if he wanted to. The man he's a mountain. He can't be moved, and that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
He's not asked to rush the passer. Lawrence Guy isn't that good. Malcolm Brown, I think you're knocking him a little too hard. I think he finished strong at the end of last year and played a very nice week one. The Pro Football Focus grade on him came back, I believe, for the game just under 83.
Well, I guess my whole point with Malcolm Brown, I don't mean to knock him or anything like that. The thing with Malcolm Brown...
He's not a world beater.
No, he's not a world beater. He's a late first-round draft pick. He's a guy that is still going to be getting better. You can't count on Malcolm Brown a whole lot, though, right here and now, especially with some of these guys you're surrounding him with. That was my only thing with Malcolm Brown.
It all comes down to, the Patriots have kind of forgotten to modernize their linebacking core. Kyle Van Noy is a 3-4 end, or a 3-4 outside backer. He's a 4-3 end. That's a little light in the pants. That's who he is. That's who he should have always been, and he's not. He's consistently been not asked to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to play out of position. David Harris, nice guy that you can take off the field in the nickel package when you play as a 3-4 defense. That's what he's kind of been for the last 3 or 4 years with the Jets. Still a tackling machine in between the tackles. Guess what? The NFL doesn't do that anymore. The Jets are going to be bad. There's a reason the Jets cut him. He's too slow. Donta Hightower has always been too slow. They've just been able to hide him. You can't do that anymore.
Not at least this season.
And they don't have anything else at the linebacking core to speak of. They just don't. They're very thin at linebacker, and you know what? And plus, they can't rush the passer. So the front seven sucks. They're back 4. Their secondary is quite talented. Very, very, very talented back in the secondary. But at the same time, even the most talented, arguably, you could say they're the most talented secondary in the league. They're still not going to be able to cover guys for 5-6 seconds.
But not only that, too, Dorf. I mean, if that's the case, then what you're going to have is you're going to have a lot of teams running on the Patriots. You're going to have a lot of teams.
Play action pass will kill you.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of teams throwing checkdowns on the Patriots and screen passes.
Oh heck yeah, and especially if you look at like teams that have very talented backs out of the backfield, especially like the Chiefs do. And Alex Smith is more than willing to take the check down and let the guys run with the ball.
Oh, the Chiefs have arguably one of the most boring defenses or offenses in the league.
It wins games. Who cares, right?
Exactly.
But if you see lots of matchups that they're not going to be favorable in, especially if, I don't have their schedule in front of me, but I'm sure there's a plethora of teams that are going to give them nightmares because you know what? They have very good receivers out of the backfield that you can't ask linebackers to cover.
You know what the Patriots do have going for them, though, and this is why I think they're going to be okay during the regular season.
They'll be all right.
They're going to make the playoffs.
The offense is still very good.
Offense is still really good, and they play in a horrible division.
Oh, the division is shit.
Their division is horrible, and that's why the Patriots, in a lot of aspect, are going to end up making the playoffs.
They'll win the division.
Yes, they'll win the division. They'll get a first-round bye, probably.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I'm being a little too generous.
They'll host the first round.
Yes. But once they get into the playoffs and they're playing better, more talented teams.
When the talent is condensed, I think they'll get ripped apart.
Yeah, so I don't think that I'm not gonna say that the Patriots are going to go out and win another Super Bowl this year. I think their problems on the defense when it comes.
They're not going to win another Super Bowl.
their problems on the defensive line and their linebackers are it's real. It's very, very real. I don't think this is a fluky thing where they just got they just ran into a.
And here's the problem about both those things. There's nobody sitting on the street right now without a job that's any better than what they already have.
So there you go.
You're not fixing this. There's no guys on injured reserve that can come back to later in the year. This is everybody. They're not going to be very good.
I guess I don't want to say that the Patriots aren't going to win a Super Bowl because they did do what they did last year against the Atlanta Falcons. And I say this in the article, until Tom Brady and the Patriots are on the golf course when there's still football yet to be played, that's when I'm going to go ahead and count them out. But anyways, obviously, this is probably going to want to be one of those things you want to keep a close eye on as the season progresses to see just how bad the Patriots' defensive line and the linebackers
They're still going to be above 500.
Yep.
They're still going to make the playoffs. Relax, New England fans. But at the same time, you're not repeating a Super Bowl chance.
No. Anyways, that's going to do it this week for Blitzcast. We'll be back on maybe next week. We'll see how things go this upcoming week. But anyways, catch us on our YouTube page, YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheMajorsTV. Check us out on our website, themajors.net. So for Dorf, I'm Adam. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye, everybody.